Today I'm going to try to go through and answer some questions. I've looked at these questions before, added them to the list of questions I'd be willing to answer that I thought might be actually productive to speak to you guys about. I haven't looked at them in a while, so I'm just going to fly by the cuff. So I got a question here by John W. Ashley. Joe, I know you manage a lot of multifamily properties. What are your solutions for excessive trash at the dumpster? Mattresses and furniture. How do you handle dumping? That's kind of a tough question to answer. I would probably, out of the gate, I would probably consider mounting cameras. They don't even have to work. I would mount kind of fake cameras. Situations like this, I try to go for partial solutions. If you can reduce the trash by 10%, that's actually not bad. That's not enough, but that is a step in the right direction. So I'm never hesitant as a property manager to take minor steps, even if it's not a full solution. So I would probably get some inexpensive fake cameras to mount at the units right around the trash cans. But the main thing I would do is I would go after the tenants, the incoming tenants. So I would put some stiff penalties into built right into the lease. No tenant is going to care. No incoming tenant is going to think not sign a lease because there are stiff penalties for them doing something wrong. Everybody thinks they're great and that they're never going to do anything wrong, and they never think they're going to throw a mattress out when they move out until they're about ready to move out. So go ahead and put some stiff penalties in there. I would also write some letters. So we actually send our tenants letters regularly, nicely worded, friendly letters with some friendly reminders, some helpful information to them, and we'll put a little blurb in it to remind them that there are stiff penalties, for doing anything, dumping like mattresses. We get this behavior actually in condo buildings, which kind of kills us. So tenants will move out of a nicer condo building like Naval Square, places like that, and then as they're moving out, they just dump everything they don't want. And of course, the HOA is an HOA. I mean, it's just I really hate to use the term Karen, but it's basically just a group of Karens, and you just don't want to do that. But we have in the security deposit, especially since it's in the lease, and that we're going to charge them. But even if it isn't in the lease, it's still pretty covered by the security deposit. If we find proof that they actually are the ones who dumped these items, and it was against the terms of the HOA or against the terms of the Philadephia, we actually get it with where tenants will move out, just dump excessive trash, everything they don't want, out on the streets on their moving day, whether it's trash day or not. And it's not fair to the neighbors, and when it's not fair to the neighbors, it's not fair to the property owner, our client, because it damages their name to the neighbors. So we do address it, and we do tend to charge them. We can't charge them anything other than what the actual charge is, but we will charge him for a trip to the dump. Absolutely. I will send the housekeeping there, and I will ask them to take it to the dump, and they get paid and paid well to do that. And it becomes a tenant problem and not so much an owner problem. So where we run into a problem with this, and where it's a little tough for me to help you, is that it's tough to prove whose mattress it is. So the tenants will move out, they will dump a mattress in. We actually get this from probably somewhat frequently. Actually, tenants will put a mattress in a basement of a condo building, and then everybody in the building knows whose mattress it is, but there isn't any proof. And that's where we kind of run into a little bit of a hurdle with that. At that point, we end up sometimes eating the costs. So we'll just pay to have the mattress removed. It's not that much money to have it taken to a dump or disposed of. But again, we put it in the lease, and we remind the tenants of it. We actually haven't had that in a long time, maybe actually even like 2 years since we've had that behavior. That might be because of the steps that we've taken with the emails. We future pace our tenants constantly. So we just, we write them an email. We send them emails out on a regular schedule, and it's always getting refined. It's always getting tweaked. We find a better way of saying something. We go back to the email, and we just refine it and make it a little bit better, a little bit nicer, a little bit more to solve the problem. So I definitely recommend informing your tenants going forward in a lease, reminding them of that every every 6 months or so. I wouldn't be opposed to putting up fake cameras, even though it feels like a partial solution might still actually help. I would totally do that. So All right. Thanks for your question.